Hey, good morning. Next one, great. I'm just on my way to the gym right now, and I just had a look at my shop, my Amazon shop, and I got like a list from Amazon of like my top sellers. So I figured it would be interesting to share some of the most popular items that people typically get. So I'm just going to show you right now, then one by one. I'm going to show you one by one the big sellers. I don't know how I'm going to do this without revealing it to you. But the first one this is the best one. Actually, this is the biggest seller. This is the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2. In case you don't know, this is like an audio interface that allows you to connect your guitar and your microphone to your computer for the sake of home recording and for the sake of making music, making beats, and just recording your stuff at home. Totally makes sense why this is the #1 bestseller. I have one. I have multiple Focusrite products. They're absolutely fantastic. You know, some people will say they're overrated and this and that, but I mean, I think they're just fantastic. They have a steel encasing. The knobs are tactile. Everything is great. The dials work perfectly. I mean, I've had the same Focusrite interface to my right here, the Sapphire 6 USB. I've had it for 15 years and it still works. I have the 2i2. It's still amazing. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. Makes sense why that's the #1 seller. The next one actually kind of surprised me. The next one is the Joyo Reverb. This is a really cool reverb pedal that I like. But I like it not because of the way it sounds. I like it for the blue light on it. Like the blue light on this thing is so sick. In one of my other videos, my video will probably be down here. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, I've got a couple videos on it. You can see the blue light right there, and it just looks sick, right? I mean, I love that feature of it. Now it sounds good too, and it's a great price as well. It's a great price. It's great value. But is it the best reverb pedal? I would say no. But either way, it's one of my big sellers. So it's cool that people like it because I like it too. I just don't think it's the best. The next one is the GOAT, the Boss RC5. The Boss RC5 is amazing. I use it every single day. As the years go by, I just get more and more better at using it and more familiar with the settings and how to use it, including the backing tracks and the memories and all the stuff that you can do with it. Frankly, I think the fact that you can control it with a MIDI foot switch and use backing tracks makes it just the absolute best. I never use any of my other looper pedals because I have this thing. I mean, it's amazing, and it absolutely deserves to be on the list of my best sellers. The next one is the Milliard Trifold Mattress. This is a great product too, and I'm glad it's on the list because thus far with my list, like every product that's on here, I love all of them. So I'm happy to see that the good stuff is people are buying the good stuff. But yeah, this thing's rad. I put my Shiki-Buton on it, and that way I can fold my bed out. It's a great way to save space and to not spend a lot of money. And obviously it's not ideal. If you want a bed to sleep in, like normal people. But I'm not normal, so I like this kind of stuff. But anyway, yeah, amazing product, good stuff. The next one is the Snark Tuner. And by the way, I'm just trying to rush through this because I want to go to the gym. It's a really nice day outside too, so I want to be outside, go for a nice walk. But yeah, this is the 5th biggest seller. This is the Snark Tuner. This is a great product too. I use it almost every day. However, there are issues with it. For instance, on my Snark Tuner, whichever guitar it's on right now, the rubber piece fell off, and obviously that's not a big deal. I just glue something back on there. But yeah, I mean, this tuner is great. I can see why people like them. Nowadays, I would probably try and get a smaller one, a smaller, higher quality one, maybe one that's made out of steel. Because if you're familiar with what I like, that I prefer, steel encasings always. Which is funny because the 6th item on the list is just that. The 6th item is the Voodoo Labs Pedal Power 3 Plus. This is an absolutely fantastic power supply for guitar pedals that I have no complaints about it. Every output is 500 milliamperes, which means that it powers every pedal ever made. You got some the ability to add more ports onto it with the X-Link, more power ports. You can get 12 volt if you want. But yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. So there's 12 isolated power ports on this thing in total. It's on my board right now. It's going to stay on my board. And going forward, pretty much every power supply I'll get will be a Voodoo Labs. The MXR ISO brick is great too, but the lights on it are very bright. The ISO brick, it looks way cooler, but the Pedal Power 3 Plus is best for it's best for functionality, frankly. Like, I imagine if you had the ISO brick on stage or something, I don't perform, but like if you did have that on stage, I mean, it would just be so bright that you'd probably have no choice but to tape it off with some tape. The next thing is another thing that is on my list that I love. It's the Contigo. I have 2 of these. No, maybe I have 3. It's just in the kitchen right now. Yeah, I'm glad people like this, and I'm glad they buy it because it's amazing. I mean, it's like a Yeti except way cheaper and just as good, maybe even better. Although Yetis are really nice. I've tried a few Yetis. They're pretty sick. But this Contigo is just fantastic. Whenever I need a new thermos, I get the Contigo. That's the one I get. It's the best value. It's great, and I have no complaints about it. It's fantastic. The next one is the MXR ISO brick, like I talked about earlier. Another great power supply. Not as good as the Pedal Power 3 Plus, but great if you don't want to spend as much money. As I said, the lights are too bright. But like all MXR products, the design is like very sexy, like the design is incredible. It's sleek, it's silver, it's very cold. Like it's like a cold device, if you know what I mean, because it's just the way it's like the steel, right? It's, I don't know, it's just cool. Then the blue lights and like, it doesn't get hot really. It is really cool. Really cool power supply that works great. But if you have the cash, excuse me, I say spring for the Pedal Power 3 Plus because that thing's awesome. This is great too though if you want to save money. Another great item on the list, again, like every item that people are buying is just, I'm very happy that they're getting this stuff because I love all this stuff. The OtterBox is just ridiculous. I've dropped it. I've like thrown it down the stairs. I've made videos where I throw it down the stairs. It worked fine. I've dropped it from 3 stories in a shopping mall by accident. I was walking on the escalator and I tripped and fell. And some guy saw me, by the way. It was some Filipino dude. And he was like watching me trip. And then so like I go to get on the escalator and I trip on the 3rd floor. And then the phone tumbles out of my hands and goes over. And yeah, it would go. I watch it go all the way to the bottom, smashes against the floor. And I went downstairs. I ran as fast as I could. The guy's watching me. He's like, oh, like he has his face like that. So I run all the way down, and I run all the way down to the stairs. I find the iPhone. Some girl watched it hit the ground and was like, holy cow. She didn't take it, obviously, which I was very happy about. But yeah, I ran over to the phone. I looked at it. I mean, the case was a little bit scuffed up. It was certainly, I was going to need a new case, but the phone was perfect. So, I mean, the case, it wasn't even that destroyed. Like it had a few more months left on it, but I knew I would have to get a new case again. And I also knew at that point that I'm getting an OtterBox because if it can survive a fall like that, that's a 10 out of 10 for me. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. And then, so we also have the Etymotic earplugs. These work fantastic, no complaints at all. Stick them in your ear. Great for concerts. Great for if you're my voice cracked there. It's great for sleeping. I mean, the thing about Etymotic is that, well, not perfect products. They're like earplug technology. Like the way they isolate the sound is just like bar none. Like I have ER3 SEs, and the sound isolation is just ridiculous. Like you put those in your ears and walk around and like you don't hear anything, man. Like you just hear nothing but music. And they need to make Bluetooth headphones. I don't know why Etymotic, maybe they do and I don't know, but Etymotic needs to get on some Bluetooth like AirPod kind of things because their earplug technology or whatever is dope. The next one is the Quick Lock. Now, actually, this is probably the only thing on this list that I'm not super crazy about. It works good. It's a little bit too high. It's currently at my parents' place. Yeah, it's a little bit too high to the ground. It doesn't go down far enough. And also these things at the bottom move around. My video is down here. Yeah, this guy is showing how the things come on and off. But ultimately, it is good. You know, it's good. It just isn't perfect. It's not perfect. I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10. I'd give it like a 7 out of 10. The next thing on the list is the SHW large electric desk. Fantastic. I'm using it literally right now as we speak. I've had it for 4 years, I think. Still works just like the day I got it. Still, everything is perfect. The gears and the mechanism on it are perfect. The buttons all work. It goes up and down wherever I want. This gets a 10 out of 10 from me. Fantastic product. I'm glad that people are buying it because it's amazing. The next one is the MXR Clone Looper. Great looper pedal. It's a lot cheaper than the RC5. Well, not a lot, but it's cheaper. This is good for if people want like a step above from the RC1 from Boss. It's just got a few more features, you know, reverse and hyper speed or double speed. You can control it with an additional switch. I guess you can do that with an RC1 though too. And just the two dual switch function, it's a lot like the Ditto X2 from TCE. So it's a little bit easier to use. And for that reason, I like the Clone Looper a lot. And again, it's MXR, so it's got this like really like sleek, sexy like silver steel encasing, which makes it like a tank. And I also spilt coffee on it one time. I thought it was destroyed. I let it sit for like 3 months in a bag of rice. And then I just took it out and it worked fine. So, I mean, it's not perfect. It's not a perfect looper pedal, but I'd give it a 9 out of 10 because longevity, looks dope. It's pretty good considering it's just one step above the RC1. And yeah, solid looper pedal. Not as good as the RC5 though, but the RC5 is more money. The next one, great amp. I love that people buy this amp because my amp is great. I wouldn't say it's ideal for metal so far from what I've noticed, although you can just get like a distortion pedal, but it's been a good amp for me so far. If I want to do it again though, what I would do is I would get a 5-watt Blackstar amp with the effects loop because this is too loud too, believe it or not. This is far too loud for my apartment. This is the 35-watt, I believe. 30, yeah. It's loud. It's great though, especially the drive. Like if you want to use the drive channel on this thing, it's dope. It sounds awesome. There are people who get a way better tone out of it than I do, and I like it. So, you know, it's amazing. Great amp. Again, I'd get the 5-watt Blackstar amp though. Another thing is the Tobin One, another fantastic product. I'm glad people are buying it. I'm using it right now as a way to hold up my computer and connect everything. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. It works perfectly. You don't need to install any drivers. I'm using 2 monitors. I have all of my music production connected, my USB devices, everything. It's fantastic. To get 10 out of 10 from me. Saves me so much space. I don't even need to use my laptop charger anymore. So yeah, absolutely love it. Fantastic. Now this is a good product, but IK Multimedia, everything is like made of plastic. It's like they use this like plastic encasing with everything. And I'm just not crazy about plastic, man. Like if it was made out of steel, I'd give it a 10 out of 10. But you know, the fact that it's made out of this plastic makes me just not like it. It feels cheap. It feels cheap. It feels like it's gonna break. It works amazing though. Like it works very good. Like if you want something that works, absolutely great product. But what I think they should do is I think they should make a steel version. I would pay for a steel version. If they would charge like $150 for a steel one, I'd get the steel one. Because I just despise cheap, fast stuff like this. Not the IK Multimedia stuff, but I mean like, I don't know, man. Like everything is just, when it's made out of plastic, it just seems like they don't care. But I get why they're doing it. It's cheap. You know, I get it. They have to make a living too. But yeah, I just wish it was a steel encasing. But ultimately, if you need an audio interface, and you need it to be portable, and you need it, you need it to work. You need an audio interface, and you don't care that it's not steel, then this is a fantastic product for you. But for me, that's like a bias that I have. I don't like that. Oh, the MIDI Captain STD, fantastic product. I'm using it right now. It's connected to my RC5. This is a brand that a lot of people are not talking about. I think they're a small brand from China, perhaps. I don't know. Yeah, they make great stuff. This is a great product, and it works perfectly. You put it in geek mode, and then you can program it with your RC5, program it with anything. I think there's 16 pages on it, so you scroll through the pages and you can program like so much stuff with this thing. It's not hard either, like once you figure it out. I have a video on my other channel where I show you how to do it. It's not hard, but excuse me, yeah, it's great, man. This very underrated, and I'm very pleased with it because there was a lot of conflicting information about like how to program a foot switch with RC5. In the guitar world, this isn't a guitar channel, so I can be a little more, maybe a little more critical because I'm not going to offend so many people. But in the guitar world, like everybody is an expert, right? So everybody is an expert. They know everything. So like when you ask questions about like stuff like this, that they can't like give you an answer, but they're like very scientific in their answer. Like they want to like make it seem like they know what they're talking about because they don't want to be made fun of. But really they have no idea. But in this case, I have the perfect idea of this thing. I know it works. Absolutely, it's going to work for your pedals. It's perfect. I have no complaints about it. Yeah, it works perfect. No complaints. iLoud Micro Monitor. These are great too. Another amazing product that I'm glad people are buying. I'm using them right now, literally as we speak. I've had them for about 4 years. I actually had to replace the cable at the back with another cable that I also did a video on. And I was really happy to, that I didn't need to use some proprietary cable or something. I just replaced the cable, good as new. Yeah, these speakers are awesome. Again, I wish they were a little more sturdy though. They are a hard plastic, but it would be cool if they were just like a bit harder shell, some kind of like aluminum or something. But I don't think that would make sense for speakers. I don't know. I'm not an audio expert. I don't pretend to be either. But again, the plastic, I don't know what it is with IK Multimedia and plastic like this. But yeah, these are good though. If you want great like mixing speakers or mixing monitors, or you want to use these to play your guitar through, which is what I do all the time, amazing. Amazing speakers. And they have Bluetooth, so you can connect your iPhone if you just want to blast some music. What I will probably do at some point is get like the big ones, the Pro version, and also the big ones. Because even though they're not perfect, they're not, even though they're plastic or whatever, they're still great, and I would still buy another set for sure. Oh, there we go. I don't want to spoil everything. Now this is a controversial one on the list because essentially it's just a bunch of PVC pipe, I believe it's called, and then a bunch of blankets, and they just like cut it up. So it's just like someone who's handy, and they made this themselves and they sell them online, and it works. It's a sound dampener. But it's not an isolation booth. Don't think that. It's a sound dampener. It just gets rid of echo, gets rid of unwanted reverberation in your recordings. But mine was cheaply made. Like the stitching was not very good. There was a lot of things I didn't like about it, but it does work. But that said, if you're a DIY person and you don't live like I live downtown in a city, and like to go to Home Depot and like buy all this stuff, like where am I even going to build this thing? I don't have a garage, right? But plenty of other people, they have the space, they have the time, and I don't mean that to be condescending either. I mean like they want to make something like this themselves, so they do. Those people won't want this, but for people who don't want to make it on their own, then this is good. And another IK Multimedia product, The iRig Pro IO, again, works great. It's a great audio interface. I had to return my first one and they replaced it because the first one had a loose input jack. So that worked out nicely. It does work the way it's supposed to. It's fairly large. It also takes batteries, so it's not bus powered, which is kind of annoying. And again, it's got this plastic encasing that makes it just lower on the list in my mind, especially for the price. But it does work. It does work, and if you do need a microphone and guitar audio interface that's portable, this is a good option. Just again, I'll say it, I've said it like 1,000 times, but the encasing is kind of what bugs me. And the NUX B8. The NUX B8 is great. It works fine. I can't say, I've never used it at like a concert or something, so I can't comment on that, but I liked it. I thought it worked great. It does make your system wireless, like it actually works, which to me was amazing. You know, it wasn't until a couple of years ago that I found out that you could even play wireless guitar. Like I had heard of it, but I thought it was just some like silly gimmick that barely worked. But no, it's not a silly gimmick, it works. So it's got some other cool features too, like a boost and a tuner, and you can do like stereo outputs. But no man, this thing works. I liked it a lot. But anyway, that's everything on the list. Those are my biggest sellers. Again, I'm really happy that people, when they, you know, I'm happy that people pick the things that I say are amazing, you know, because you know, I want you to have a good time too with the stuff that you get. But anyway, that's all for this video. See you in the next one.